How's it going today? Scott with Joticle. Hope all is well. I am covering apiculture today, which is also known as beekeeping, which is basically the practice of keeping bees in beehives. If you want to make honey, other bee products, if you want to harvest beeswax, pollen, royal jelly, stuff like that. Kind of falls into the agricultural side of things and conspiracy theories for why bees are dying. But really what it comes down to when you're in apiculture is managing bees in order to maximize their production and then the quality of their products. So that's the overall big picture of apiculture. The history of apiculture dates back a long time ago when bees were kept for their honey and their wax. Nowadays, you see it, and I know a few people myself who use it as a hobby, others as a profession. There's some TikTokers that I've seen. I'm not admitting that I watch TikTok, but I have seen the videos posted that end up on other social media feeds because I refuse to use TikTok. But there's some really cool videos that I have seen of people handling bees that I would just, it's fascinating. They're not covered in anything, they're not their masks, they're big nets. So I've always been fascinated by someone who is comfortable around bees. I'm not allergic to them. I've been stung once. Wasn't that bad. But needless to say, that's kind of the overall picture of what apiculture and beekeeping is. Very popular on the, you see like roadside people with their vans out there with 10,000 jars of honey sitting there in the sun. I've always wondered, does that honey go bad? Well, today we're going to look into creating an apiculture universe and a topic pod for apiculture on Joticle, and that's where we're at right now. So I'm just going to bring it up, the topic pod, while we're going through some of the... Boom. Here we go. Apiculture, also known as beekeeping, is the practice of maintaining and caring for honeybee colonies, typically for the purpose of producing honey, beeswax, and other products. So built into this is a science glossary. We'll be adding some terminology. This is a feature for the back-end admins to use, so you don't have access to it. But we always take suggestions at info@joticle.com. You can send in why does this glossary term not exist for this topic, and we'll take care of it, and we'll be on it. So these are just things that'll pop up if you want instant reference. My philosophy is that if you understand the language of a topic, you're halfway there, because you need to be able to talk about something to start to understand something. So really understanding the language of a topic to me is a crucial step. It worked for me in music. It's worked for me in programming. It works for me in most anything I learn. So that's for me. Again, other people learn different ways. I love to understand the language, because when you can command the language of the topic, you can really start to ask the right questions. And asking the right questions is the right thing to do, not pretending you know everything. So we're kind of going to be walking through the process of asking the right questions, or at least searching. My whole philosophy for what we're doing with Joticle is to create an environment that shows multiple aspects of a topic. We'll dive into that briefly here as we go through apiculture. And as we go through other videos, this whole process is exactly the same. So it applies to apiculture in a topic pod, applies to really any of the sciences that we have topic pods for. And if you look at our list here, anatomy, angiology, anthropology, all the way to, gosh, who knows, we have 960 topic pods. Scatology, we even have something for crap. That just showed up right when I scrolled. That was good timing. There are sociology, stemology. Some of these can be broken down or raised up, I should say, to higher categories. We're still working through that, and as we do these topic pods and have discussions with people, we condense things. We did that yesterday, actually, in fact, with, if you go to Joticle, we were deep in the throes of cell discovery, and that fell under, I'm having a total brain sweater right now. Let's Let's go into the well here. Apiculture. It's today. I'm sorry. Cytopathology. That's the one we're looking for. We were in chemistry. There's analytical chemistry. So we're just really starting to open up this channel to just talk about topics. Maybe sometime we'll get to a point of doing live conversations and doing discovery of topics as we go through it. I love researching anything. So this is a fun process for me to share how to utilize Joticle both as an educator to show your microlearning experiences and lead people to your wealth of content. Any lessons you're selling or videos you're hawking. Sorry, I mean to put it that way, but at the end of the day, getting visible. Sharing your wealth of knowledge and really bringing people to understand a topic better. So, and we really care about different viewpoints. And so I'm going to be going through apiculture today and really, one of the great places to go, obviously, not to actually be focused on a topic, but to find videos for a topic. And there's tons of them in apiculture, honeybee farming. We're going to show you the structure of what we've done today. What is apiculture? We have this whole explanation of it in general info under Apiculture 101. So as you go to there's a couple different ways to get there. First off, if you're not logged in, create an account. There's a video for that, but just for a quick overview, it's real quick. You can become an early adopter. Boom, boom, boom. Fill out the information, register, and you're good to go. There will be subscription accounts we're going to be turning on, so the time to be an early adopter is coming to an end as we move on to the next stage of Joticle. I am already logged in as my account because I like to show the posts I do as Joticle. You can see our profile. These are some of the early badges. So if you do sign up, you'll see this early adopter badge. Once you make your first Jot, you're going to get your first Jot badge and yada yada. There's a bunch of different little badges for doing cool things. We'll be adding more as we go. So that's where we are with badges. I like to keep them less uniform and scientific, like pluralsight. They all look like these, robotic badges. I like to have some fun with them so they don't all look uniform. Some people like uniform. I like zany badges. Until we're told otherwise, that's just the way we're rolling with it. So, once you've logged in, you have all your information. So back to apiculture. Just wanted to give that quick shout out or process to how to. When you search for it, you'll see the learning pod. The learning pod structure is in the middle. So you've got your navigation on the left side. We're going to get rid of the ads here, but you're going to have more content that's related to the functionality of Joticle, how to use it, how to do things. There's even a nice video, which we're going to cover in more depth in this video, as well as every video, about the process of creating a Jot. So it's got boom, boom, boom. That's the video. So if you want to watch it, it's right here. We used to say Inspire Topic Learning. I have to update my videos. We don't hashtag that anymore. So the sections of apiculture we've broken down to Apiculture 101. How do I? Education, career, and organization. So now we have the workflow to say, well, there's beekeeping as one career. And I'm going to use that as an example of creating a Jot for making a beekeeper a career. We'll use some other people's content that we're just going to point to and give them reference and all the credit in the world. At the end of the day, that's what we want to do, is give people the credit for the work they do. We have a couple of Jots already within apiculture. How to start beekeeping in 2023 and what is apiculture. I showed you that one. This is just a nice long description of what apiculture is. We're going to be doing that quite a bit and updating these and making it more standardized as we go along. So as it is, not in apiology, this is a case right here of the study of honeybees specifically and and there's a debate of how far do we do in detail. So kind of rescinding these things of saying, well, we've got 3 different topic pods on apiculture, apiology, which is the most standardized way of looking at it. And this is kind of the discussions that we have, both with the Academic Advisor Board and our users. And so, in a case like this, apiculture seems to be the word that's used the most. So at the end of the day, it's gone. Look at that. So, go back to APA. Apiculture is what we have. Apiculture is what we're sticking to. And if you go to Joticle right now on Twitter, @Joticle, you will see on our profile, it's all bees today. We've been sharing some wonderful content from Vita Bee Health, Andy Hill. The Vita Bee Health link is the good one. They got a lot of cool things. MSU Extension has an apiculture program that they're jaunting to start January 31st, so get out there and do it. Man, there's Black Mountain Honey. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Black Mountain Honey just became a friend of ours. So still wondering with this Twitter upheaval. I don't consider it an upheaval. It works exactly the same as it's always worked for me. Is in the process of really narrowing and cleaning up who's following us, and so it makes it a lot easier. We can kind of, we're getting better people engaged. Send a direct message if you want us to be added to our apiculture list. We have lists galore and tons of lists, and we really like to track people who are actively tweeting about things related to apiculture. Right now, we've got 42 members, and we want to grow that list. So shoot me a Twitter direct message, and I'll make sure to add you to our apiculture list, or any one of these lists that you are really passionate about. And again, educators, experts, both are welcome. Or if you're just plain out passionate about the topic and you write a lot of great tweets, this is something that we like to support and add visibility. And so feel free to share. Back to Joticle. So Apiculture 101 has some general info in it, and that's this. You kind of give the there's a little content blurb. I'm going to update this. I'll do that on my own time. So there's one jot in here right now, and we want to expand that, and that's where the users come in, and that's where you, being an expert in apiculture, will thrive, because there's not a whole lot of content in this topic pod yet. This is a process. So I think we just reached 4,000 jots, which is our milestone. We're looking for our next milestone to be 10,000 jots. Hopefully within 2023 we can get that to 25,000 jots. And having just a really robust content base to build from. We're not stealing from Wikipedia. In fact, we refuse to use Wikipedia content. We really want to focus on stuff that you can reference. That's why we usually provide a reference link when applicable, so you can go check out their credentials and use that information. You can see I have a career. We have the beekeeper. No jots yet. So I'm going to walk you through it. I'm signed in as a user. There's a button right here called Create a Jot. Well, I haven't done the research, so we're going to navigate this this journey together. What I understand is a beekeeper, all right? So this is someone who keeps beehives. We're looking for careers beyond just beekeeper, even though that's what we're going to start with. There's others in bee production, honey production. These all fall under the category of apiculture. And so anything remotely close to bees and their byproduct become fair game for the career section. So if you want to narrow that down to someone who manufactures the nets for the bee masks or whatever, that's a career. So really narrowing that down, a beekeeper is a hobby. It's also a profession. And so it, again, falls under the career category. You want to really focus in on what they do, the behaviors and the knowledge and understanding of bees that they need to be aware of. They need to be able to identify the different types of bees, obviously. So this is everything that falls into, the beauty of being a beekeeper. I'm sure there's way more than someone else can speak to. And down the line, maybe we'll have someone talk about beekeeping. Let's save that for a different format. Right now, we really want to get the messaging out that these topic pods are diverse. It's not just apiculture. There's so many more. But today, we're discussing apiculture and honey. And I love honey. I put it on my oatmeal every morning. And then there's unless it's maple syrup, but regardless. So we're looking purely at discovery of a beekeeper. So I'm just going to go, we're just going to wing it. I just want to show you the process. If you are a content creator, you already have your content created. So this is a different process. I'm going out and looking for content. Right now we accept YouTube URLs for video. So I want to do a beekeeper. I'm going to take a deep look. Second act careers, the beekeeper. Yeah, this is just a business thing from Charles Schwab. Not interested in that. These are some cool stories. Odd jobs. Cool. So, I like them. Let's get past the ads. Yes, they are. So, the odd job of being a beekeeper. This is a prime candidate for some content that would fall under this. So, I'm going to create a jot. I'm going to create a video. I'm going to select video. You can choose story, audio, or video. Most of them are stories or videos. And I'm going to click beekeeper. And because it's a video, the source URL will show up. And I'm going to take the title, Odd Jobs, Beekeeper. Go back to Joticle and type that right in there. Now this is a place, the Joticle content. I'm just going to have the video play. I'll give reference if they have it to their account. This is a global news account, so I don't really care. There's no one to give credit to. I like to look in the body content, and this is strictly from my way of doing things. So think about yourself of what you're going to emulate in a jot is providing all the information that you normally will provide in a YouTube post or a Twitter. You can tag stuff. You can use hashtags. They don't have dominance right now, so you're really setting yourself up for the future on Joticle for using hashtags. Excuse me. So really not too impressed with the content they provide in terms of the body content. They show some links. And I'm not going to use that, so I'm back to my jot, and I'm just going to leave it blank. And then what I like to do is get a nice image going. So I'm just going to take print screen of their video, and I have some pre-plugged in ways of just going in. I use Photoshop. There's paint.net. That's a free app. If you're doing content creation, you have plenty of apps, I'm sure, that you use. I like to just do my own screenshots for the header image, and this is the header image that'll show up, and I'll show you where this image ends up. So save a copy. We're going to do apiculture, day in the life. Alright, cool. So again, as a content creator and someone's creating jots, you've already got all this graphics ready. I'm doing this on the fly just to give you an example of how easy it is to make a jot. I go and I click on where I just created that image. And I now have the cover for my jot. So all the information is there. I'll explain this in a second, how these auto-populated. Odd Jobs Beekeeper. Boom, share jot. I guess I have to have more than... I'm just going to use my... You do have to provide some textual feeling. No, you have to provide some content for you to post a jot. You can't just post a jot blank. Minimum of 40 characters for videos. So, as you'll see now, when you go home, the latest jots should show right at the top. Boom. Odd jobs, apiculture, beekeeper, boom. Oh, look, there's the video now. And then a little video, and then this would be an external link, so you can link off to your discussion boards. You can launch people to your bee website if you want, your honey site. This is what the platform is to give a microlearning experience and then show someone the door to the rest of your world related to it. And we can just put a bunch of videos. Boop, 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 boop. Now, one of the things you'll see is this video now shows up. It's one of the latest jots, and this populates as well as when I go to career now and beekeeper, it's also the jots related. So you can have a bunch of different videos on just what it means to be a beekeeper, the career. It doesn't have to be one explanation. There's multiple sources that we want to grab from. So we want to hear from 40 beekeepers on how to make a career out of being a beekeeper. But it's not a big feedback loop. These are just, you're here to learn these microlearning experiences, and you can reach out to them through other channels. We want to get you the information without all a bunch of noise, and you can kind of look at all the different approaches people take to being a beekeeper as a career. So that's the walkthrough of how to create a jot for this video. I'm going to do it in each video. Today we're just going through apiculture and understanding how you can implement that for what you're doing in apiculture. So we welcome you. Follow us, subscribe to us, interact with us on Twitter. We're very engaged. A couple of us that really kind of manage that, but we're always open to conversations and talking about how we can work with you to blow up the apiculture topic pod. We want to see these succeed and grow with some quality content. Again, you can't just anonymously post stuff. And we track that, and we look forward to people challenging that. As it stands right now, we are going to be filtering and allowing for the publishing until we hit a certain scale. So that's a growing pain we'll go through. But right now we want to keep this a very safe and accessible space for kids to learn without having to worry about weird crap showing up. That's one of our big priorities, safety and accessibility. We want people to have rich access to some great content without having to worry about ads or a bunch of nonsense noise. And that's kind of the model of Joticle and how we're doing things. Now, if you're really into apiculture and when you log in, all you want to see is the apiculture topic pod. There's a button right here called Set Default Topic. And you'll see, boom, it's now my default topic. Now I don't want it, so boom, it's no longer mine. Because I like to see everything. That is apiculture on Joticle. I appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, email me, info@joticle.com. Always happy to talk about topic pods and what we're working on and how we can improve. So the door is wide open for your suggestions. We love constructive feedback, and I don't even mind people who just want to complain. So have a great day, and I'm going to post this up for everyone to see, and then we'll move on to the next topic.